Hi guys, you join me and I'm back down the Horcott Lakes. Just heading into December now and the weather's taken a turn for the worse. We've got northeasterly winds, high pressure, cold nights going down to around 0, 1, 2 degrees, something like that. Might even get a touch of frost. It's my third trip down here now. I did fish last week with 3 friends. We did 3 nights and it was a very tough session. On the second night I did manage to hook and lose a fish at the net, probably mid to upper double, but apart from that was the only bite of the session. So I'm back down now this week, giving it another go. Sort of started off in the same swims I fished last week where I lost that fish, because I came around this morning and saw a couple of fish show in that area, so that was a kind of good starting point. So we'll see how the day goes. I already know where the spots are that I fished last week, so let's get the rods clipped up, get them out, because you know the day's getting on now and there's not much light left, so it'll soon be night time. Got to be pretty quick and on your toes this time of year, so hopefully I can nick one tonight, but if not I'll reassess it in the morning, see what the fish are doing. If they're showing elsewhere then I'll move, but we'll see what's going to come of the session. It's going to be a tough one I think with the way the weather is, but I'm always positive, so we'll keep trying, keep plodding, and hopefully over the next 4 or 5 nights I think I'm on for, I'll hopefully be able to nick a fish, maybe even 2, who knows. I'll give you guys a look round and everything else and what I'm doing probably tomorrow, because like I said the day's getting on now, and we'll update you in the morning. It's been fishing okay, steady, a few fish coming out, there was the odd decent hit and then the odd fish here, there and everywhere all around the lake, so there is still fish coming out, so hopefully it won't be long before I have another one. So for now, until later on, I'll see you guys in the morning. Cheers guys. Well, good morning guys, and unfortunately it was a pretty uneventful night for myself last night. It dropped cold very early on. After them couple of fish I saw in the morning, I never saw anything else for the rest of the day. I did see a few show just to my right, and throughout the night I kept hearing them up towards the right as well, as when I was here last week. It was sort of showing out in front and down to my left. But like I said, I was going to film that session last week, but I decided not to as the weather was horrendous. We had some really heavy rain showers and it's a bit of a social, so I started to, but then I decided in the end not to bother. So this morning I woke up, it's like absolute pea soup out there. The fog has come in and you can't see more than about 3 feet. Never done well in foggy conditions, so it doesn't look great for today either. I think the problem is you're only like half fishing, you can't really see where you're casting, you can't really be accurate and do the things you want to do. But I think I'm going to put some zigs on now this morning, chuck them out, and then if nothing's happened by about dinner time, I may have a move up to my right, just because that's where I'm hearing fish, and if you're not on fish this time of year you can't catch them. So it's kind of where we're up to at the minute. Said the conditions aren't ideal, but I'm hopeful. Keep trying to grind out a result. I'm going to have some breakfast now and get some zigs out and hopefully nick one that way. But this fog is definitely not helping, and it doesn't look too promising. Still hearing the odd fish, like I said, up to the left. Not left, even right even. So if they keep showing, I'm definitely going to move. But for now, like I said, have some breakfast, get some zigs out, see what the day brings, and I'll update you tonight. So until later on, cheers guys. Well, good evening guys. It's been a tough day today. That fog, it's been hard work, but tried working zigs all day and nothing's really happened. I have heard a couple of fish just up to my right, a few swims up, so I've decided about 1-2 o'clock to have a move. So it was a bit of a rush, get up here, get the kit set up. I have tried to find some spots, but as you can know, it's tough in the fog. You know, I find a spot and then casting back accurately to a small spot in the weed is not an easy task. So I just sort of put singles out. Did try and put a little bit of bait out, but sort of didn't really want to spread it everywhere, so there's a couple of spots in general directions to get them searching about. So I'll kind of just put out them tonight, and we'll reassess in the morning. Hopefully the fog will have cleared up and got half a chance of finding some spots and getting back to fishing properly. But yeah, like I said, it's been tough going so far, but like it's kind of expected. We're in December now, and the weather, it's northeasterly winds, freezing temperatures, the air's very damp, very cold tonight. But we'll keep trying like I always do. I don't think much is probably going to happen tonight. It's a bit more of a pub chuck tonight, but we're fishing, got baits in the water. As long as you've got a bait in the water, there's always a chance. So after rushing around for the last hour or two, getting the rods out, getting the kit up here, because like I said, I was running out of daylight. I'm going to get some tea on, get an early night, get up early, and take it from there. So I'll see you guys in the morning. Until later on. Cheers guys. Well, good morning guys, that's the second night done. Kind of as expected, it was a quiet one. Didn't really hear any fish last night. Like I said before, I've never really done any good in the fog. Luckily though, the fog has cleared this morning, so I can get back to fishing properly, find some spots, put a little bit of bait out and see what the day brings. Feeling a lot more confident now that fog's cleared, so we never know. It's always tough this time of year, but when you get conditions like that, it just makes it even harder. So, like I said, it's just a quick update to let you guys know what's happening. So I'm going to have something to eat now, have some breakfast, have a look around the swim, see if I can't find some spots and hopefully locate a few carp. So until later on, probably tonight. Cheers guys. Right guys, just give you a little look around my swim. I'm in peg 35, it's a double swim. The side of the swim's a little bit flooded at the minute, the water's come right back up. I did start my session a bit further down there, peg 31. I would have given you a look around that swim, but it was that foggy on the day that I was in there. There wouldn't have been a lot of point, there wouldn't have been much to see. I'm sure I'll be in there again at some point and I can give you a look around the swim then. But here we are, this is where I've moved up to. This is a swim. So as we come to the front of the swim, rod's down there. And then this is the water out in front of me, right in the middle of the lake. Loads of water. On the end of a cold northeasterly wind, but the fish have been showing on the end of it, so they're quite happy to be here at the minute. So that's what we're faced with. That's the reason I moved up here, because they were just out there, not too far out either. So I found 3 nice spots out there. I've kind of spread the rods a little bit, as much as the boundaries of my swim will allow, just to try and figure out where the fish are really. If I can find them, then I'll move 2 or maybe even 3 rods to that area, but at the minute it's tough going. It's a typical winter day, dull, cold, but it's just nice to be out. Love fishing this time of year, and the fish are absolutely in prime condition. Definitely worth the effort. Hopefully I can share a few with you on this trip. Just into December now, lake's still looking stunning, unbelievable in the summer. So hopefully fish do not too far away. Just come back round, there's my bivvy, social cap on, there's Vixen down there, loving life, loving being out on the bank. Syndicate Lake just behind me there. So there we are guys. Just a little look at my swim. So until later on, cheers guys.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We're meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell. To be in the great outdoors, forever free, you and me.
Well, good evening guys. Nothing's really occurred today, but I did spend several hours looking for a couple of spots out there, and I found some really nice spots actually. It's taken a bit of time, but it was worth it, I think, and I'm feeling a lot more confident now. But tonight I've seen a few fish today, sort of after I got the rods out and I put a bit of bait out. There's been a few fish show extremely close to me, so confidence is high, and you never know, with a bit of luck everything goes right. Tonight before the morning, or hopefully in the morning, I'll hopefully put a carp on the bank and be able to share that with you guys. Like I said, getting everything right this time of year is so much more important than any other time of year. You know, in the summer you can get away with it a little bit, but this time of year you've got to be bang on. And the fish aren't going to move far, they're going to be where they want to be, they're going to do what they want to do, and if you get it all right you can catch them. Saying that, you can have some really good hits in the winter as well if everything comes good and is right, but you know, it's all about putting that effort in. No point in just getting in your bivvy, doing the door up and sitting back and hoping, because it won't happen. Well, not very often anyway. So we'll see what tonight brings, but I'm a lot more confident. Like I say, there's definitely fish in front of me, so we'll see what happens. So I'll update you guys as and when, probably in the morning. So until later on, cheers guys. Well, good morning guys. That's another night done, but luckily just on first light this morning I managed to finally put a fish on the bank, and what a fish it was. Unbelievable. This is why I've come to this lake and joined it as a winter syndicate, and a fish like this one, 34 pound 9 ounce fully scaled mirror, and to say I'm over the moon is unbelievable. So I'll give you guys a look at that fish now. It's taken a while, this one. First fish of the session, 34 pound 9 ounces. Unbelievable fish. Simply stunning. December carp. Absolutely made up with this. First 30 from Horcott. And what a fish. Well worth the wait. Well worth coming out here in the cold weather. Unbelievable. Absolutely blown away. You guys look at the other side. Just as nice. What a fish. Well, as you can see guys, unbelievable fish, and you know, kind of lost for words really, but this is what it's all about. When you put the effort in, you come and you try, rewards like this can and do happen. You know, I could have stayed in a swim just down the bank, been comfortable in my bed, you know, chilled out, had a nice session, but if you're not on the fish you can't catch them, and making that effort to move, coming out in these freezing conditions, fish like that make it all well worthwhile. And just I can't, you know, can't kind of explain it. The fish are the best weights, best conditions, best colours in the winter fishing. The rewards are massive, it means so much more. It's just unbelievable when you catch them this time of year. You know, December carp, they don't come along too often, especially ones like that. So what a night. And you know, I've still got 2 nights to go, and if I have any more I do, if I don't then it doesn't really matter. It was well worth it for that one fish. So that's it really guys, it was kind of up to date now, and I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. You know, hopefully, you know, if I've had one fish off that spot, with a bit of luck, there's a few fish in the area and I might nick another 1 or 2, but for now, you know, I'll have a celebratory cup of tea, bit of breakfast, and just soak it all up. So till later on, cheers guys. Right guys, I just thought I'd talk you through the bait for the session. Starting off with the spod mix. Started off with 4 and 6 mil low oil pellets, and to them I've added liquid liver from Spar Baits. Give them a good dose, give them all a sheen, let that soak in completely, and give them a little bit more, let it soak in again. Pellets are a very good absorber of liquids, and when they soak in, you get the pellets out to the bottom of the lake, the liquids leak out of them right on the bottom, exactly where you want them. Great little tip, great little edge. And then to that I've added 12 mil Maple Digest boilies, which have also been soaked in the matching food complex. Liquids this time of year are absolutely devastating. They're good any time of year, but in the winter especially, loads of attraction, not too much feed. I did start the first session when I came down using particles, but this lake sees a lot of pellets, so it was a bit of a no-brainer to go down the pellet and boilie route. But I put my own little twist on them pellets by adding the liquids, which makes me stand out a little bit from the rest that go in here. So that's kind of my approach for the winter for now. Once it gets a little bit colder I might add some corn and maggots to that. We'll see how it goes. Might just even go down the singles route or zigs. We'll see how it goes using this first. And then rig wise, changed it up a little bit. I've gone back to a hinge stiff rig with a cork pull pop-up, one of the special pop-ups I make for Spar Baits in cork pulls. That there's a 15 miller, just I want the hook bait to be the biggest, the brightest and smelliest out there. I'm not putting loads of bait out, only sort of 3 or 4 spods over each spot, but I want my hook bait to stand out and be the first bait taken. I've gone back to pop-ups and a hinge stiff rig just because I want something off the bottom, a couple of sort of an inch or two, because there's a lot of dying weed and leaves and stuff like that rotting down on the bottom at the moment, and I don't want to be fishing hard on the deck, potentially getting snared up and my hook plate stinking. So that's the idea. See how it goes, and hopefully it'll pay off soon. So there we are guys, that's a little look at my bait. So until later on, cheers guys. Well, good evening guys. It's been a very quiet day today. I've not seen a single show, and the temperature has dropped quite a fair bit today. Definitely dropped a few more degrees. It's a northeasterly wind, I'm right on the end of it. But yesterday they were showing on it, but it is Saturday and the lake has got a lot busier. There's quite a few anglers on tonight, and I think that's going to slow the action right up. A lot more leads going in, a lot more bait, spodding, marking, all that sort of thing, a lot more lines. And like as most lakes, fish tend to shut up shop when it kind of gets really busy. So I think it could be a quiet night tonight, but we'll see. Hopefully something might turn up, but it's not looking great at the minute. The fish seem to be feeding on and off every few days, and when they are feeding they're generally showing, and we're not seeing anything today. If they don't start showing tonight, I think it's going to be a quiet night. They definitely give themselves away when they're on the feed. It's typical winter fishing, you know, they don't feed constantly, you know, every now and again, maybe even every few days, but just being in the right place at the right time when they do decide to have a feed. So that's kind of it. I'm gonna get the kettle on, watch the water for the last hour or two, and then get my head down and get up in the morning, and I'll update you guys in the morning. So until later on, cheers guys. Well, good morning guys, and as I thought, it was a very quiet night. Didn't really hear anything show. It did turn very cold last night, so it was an early night into the sleeping bag, keep warm. But I do think all that extra pressure definitely probably pushed them out, and they just really weren't feeding last night. But I'm hoping today, with all the anglers going home, there's only sort of 3 or 4 people on tonight. there's a good chance they might start showing this afternoon, and hopefully come back on the feed and we can nick one before going home tomorrow. So I'll just keep at it. You know, I don't really think I could do anything different. There's no point moving anywhere because I'm just not seeing any fish, so it's just a case of keep plodding, keep trying, and hopefully I can nick one more. But if not, it doesn't matter. It's been a great session, you know, unbelievable fish so far, so we'll just see how the last night goes, and I'll probably update this evening before going to bed. But for now, it's all for me for now. Till later on. Cheers guys. Well, good evening guys. Everyone's sort of packed up and gone home now. There's only 3 of us left on tonight. And about half an hour ago I saw my first show. So I put a rod straight on its top of its head, a couple of spods over the top, and I'm feeling a lot more confident because that's the first show I've seen for over 24 hours. And like I said earlier, I think with all the pressure from last night and yesterday, the fish kind of backed off, shut down, and it's stopped feeding. But it looks like a few might have come back on the feed now, and who knows, hopefully tonight I can nick another one. It's not been an easy session. Sat on the end of this northeasterly wind. It's been bitterly cold, but the few fish I have seen have been on the end of it. It's not the normal thing. You normally expect them to back off this sort of cold wind, but for whatever reason they want to be here, and hopefully I can have a fish tonight. Dog's getting ready for bed, probably hearing rustling in the background, getting into sleeping bag. But like I said, I'm just gonna settle down now myself, have some tea, and then get into bed myself, and hopefully tonight or in the morning I'll be woken up by an alarm. So until tomorrow morning, my final rundown. But now, till later on. Cheers guys. Well, good morning guys. It's fairly quiet last night, but just on first light, the right hand rod rattled off. Unbelievable battle, and managed to land myself an absolutely cracking 21 pound 8 ounce mirror. It was the rod that I chucked out towards that showing fish last night and put a couple of spods over the top. That was the one that did the damage. I was a lot more confident last night after seeing that fish. It did seem like there was a possibility of a bite, and it just kind of proves that location and timing is absolutely key in the winter. Get everything right and the fish are definitely still catchable. So like the session is starting to draw to a close now. It's only like 8:30 in the morning, but I'm going to slowly start packing up, call it a day, and I will be back down here soon possibly next week. We will see. Hopefully the footage isn't too bad of the fish, because it was not the best lighting conditions. It's early morning, so the camera is struggling a bit, but I've got some good pictures so I can share that with you guys. So I'll leave you with that, and for now, until later on, it's bye from me, tight lines, until next time. Cheers guys. Well, it's taken a little while, this one. This is my second fish on the bank. 21 pound, 8 ounces. I'm over the moon with this. It's made it worthwhile sitting on the end of this freezing cold northeasterly wind. Saw a fish show yesterday. Put a bait on it this morning, away it went. Happy days. The other side. Quick look at the other side, as long as it'll allow me. A bit feisty, definitely wants to go back. Happy days. St. Vixen. Dog's loving it. Right, let's get him back.